All right? That's why the earth is going to be quiet when Esau gets destroyed, man. Because all this useless nonsense, all this wicked ass bullshit that's in this earth, man, is going to get melted. It's going to be destroyed, man. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead ones for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth.
Yeah, that means the grave is prepared for your ass, man. Alright? Hell from beneath is moved for thee, man. Alright, go ahead.
Even all the chief ones of the earth, he hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the power. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. Alright?
And the Most High, you know, he's the author of life and death. So Esau, he wants that. He wants that power. He wants the issues of life and death. He wants to be able to control things. He wants to be able to conduct the weather. He wants to be able to decide whether your child is coming out male or female. He wants to decide whether you're old enough to live or die. Okay? This guy is the devil. He wants to be the supreme being himself. He wants to control outer space and all the planets. Okay? He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to sit on the congregation, being at Israel in total subjection under him. You know?
Yeah, because Esau got that whack-ass blessing. And so, now that the Lord put him up on a certain level, now he's been lifted up so high, he's like, man, with this technology, I could become like the Most. I could do anything with this technology, man. I can decide who lives and who dies. All right, I can control people's thoughts. I can control people's minds. All right, I could put thoughts in people's heads and have them do crazy ass shit if I want to. You know, I could manipulate the elements. I could heal. I could heal the sick and the blind. I could do whatever the hell I want. I could create a tidal wave to wipe out an entire country if I want to. I could make a big ass hurricane go and destroy half of a continent if I want to. You know, I got nuclear missiles. I could completely annihilate an entire continent if I wanted to. I could annihilate an entire country. All right. So with the sword that Esau has, all right, the Lord lifted him up with great pride, man. That's why he's so proud. That's why he thinks ain't nobody gonna be able to bring him down. All right, but it says in Isaiah, say, hast thou become weak like us? All right, because even though Esau has all this technology and everything, his wickedness, all right, his wickedness he's being destroyed by his own wickedness, man. Everybody's waking up to who he is now. All right, the Lord's uncovering this man, so everybody's seeing what he really is. He's nothing but a fucking demon, man. He's nothing but a damn murderer. All right, a rapist, a sicko, man, a psychopath, man. Everybody's starting to see that. Everybody's starting to see Esau as the devil, man.
It's Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Yeah, that great wisdom and thy traffic, man. All right. Talks about Babylon the Great. Talks about how it's a city of commerce, man. All right, that's that traffic that's talking about freights coming in, freights going out, flights coming in, flights coming out. All manner of goods being sold, including what? Souls of men. That's why you had the transatlantic slave trade. What were they trafficking? They were trafficking Israelites, man. All right? All these other nations had a hand in that traffic work, man.
Yep. It says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness.
That's why Russia and China's gonna go to war with America. That's the terrible of the nations that the Lord is gonna bring forth, especially them fucking Russians. You see them crazy guys, man? These assholes literally shoot each other with live ammo for training. Alright? They're prepared for war. They're ready to eat people, man. These motherfuckers will eat you to survive. They ain't playing, man. They'll feed you to their dog. Oh man, my dog he'll throw a foot to his dog. Alright, the Russians are ready for gruesome battle, man.
They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man and no power in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers. For I have spoken, and saith Yahweh, power. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up thy lamentation upon the king of Cyrus. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thou sealest up the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of the mountain. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, the topaz, the diamond, beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle and gold.
Yeah, because your life has been like you living in the Garden of Eden, man. You had nothing has been withheld from you. You've basically taken the entire world. All right. Wait, what does it say? There's a saying in the world: the world is your oyster. That's Esau, man. The world has been his oyster, and look at what you did with it, bro. All right, you did not do the right thing. That's why it says in the scriptures that the soul that is lifted up is not upright within it, man. Alright? That's why you didn't deal with the earth according to Yahweh Shai's judgments. But your own ways proceeded forth out of your mind, man. Alright? You leaned upon your own understanding. Well, by my great wisdom, I'm going to rule the world. Alright? Why? Because the Lord hid his face from you back when you was Cain, bro. The Lord, it tells you in the scriptures, Cain said the burden is too much for me to bear from thy face this day I am hid. So that means all this wisdom that you got, it's not true wisdom, man. Alright? Because it tells you that wickedness is not wisdom, bro.
It says the workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of the power. Thou hast walked up and down as the fire.
Yeah, because where you at right now? You're over there in the land of Israel right now. Alright? So you dwelling in the holy mountain right now. Which when you go into Albert Pike's letter that he wrote, it said that the Second World War was to get rid of Nazi Germany and to set up Israel as a state.
And they had to do that because the Nazis and Germans, they were coming out with the tech, man. They were coming out with the supreme fucking weaponry, man. And it wasn't so because they're not the head tribe. So everything is to be done in order and in decency, even on the left hand. So they had to subdue Nazi Germany because they were coming out with them jets, fucking laser guns, all types of telecommunication devices. When it came to war, they were on top of things, man.
Hey, that's why Operation Paperclip happened, because when Israel got established, what did the elites do? They went and gathered up all them scientists, man. That's why you have DARPA. That's why you have these different facilities that are creating crazy ass weaponry, man. That guy's a Nazi, man. He's one of the he's the son of one of them Nazi scientists, bro.
He's one of them coming back. It says, "Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of Yahweh. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of Yahweh, and I will destroy thee. I will cover the cherub from the midst of the stones of fire."
Dang, so, hey man, you're going to be destroyed out of that land. You're going to be destroyed out of that land, man. You go into that Albert Pike, it tells you that too. It tells you that by design they want to pit Iran and Israel against each other so that they would both destroy each other, man.
Yep, and it's really ultimately the Lord, man, that's doing that because...
Well, the Lord put it in the minds of the humans to formulate that.
Yeah, because I mean, it is, because the Lord, He worketh on the minds of the kings of the earth. He works everybody. Man's goings are Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So when they plan to do things, Esau, he doesn't understand that everything he's doing is according to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is right here. This is Jamal 3:1. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. Who parted the land? Is the Palestinians, which are Ishmaelites or Arabs, and Amalek, okay, which are the so-called Jews. They parted the land. And just like the brother brought out, according to the theory of Albert Pike, what do you call it? Their enterprise. They want this war to take place between those two nations, man. Those two countries. And that's scripture, man, because I just read it. Okay? It says, "And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." The valley of Yehoshaphat or Jehoshaphat is the Middle East, is the Levant. Syria, Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. That's the hot seat, man. That's the valley of the Lord's decision, the valley of His judgment. Okay? And that's where it's going to take place. What do you think's going on there right now? Meanwhile, you people are fucking watching for the millionth time. Oh, COVID-19 virus has expanded for the 10,000 millionth time. Meanwhile, they're out there duking it out. Meanwhile, Israel's out there shooting missiles on Syria, trying to get Iran out of there. Okay? The Jordan and all those countries right there around Hamas, they're trying to come together, which is going to lead to World War III, they're saying, man. Trump is going to come out and give a speech about it, unless he already did. How he's going to talk about, oh, we got terrorists in the Middle East, we need to send more troops, send more troops. Everybody's talking about the National Guard. They've already sent hell of the National Guard to the Middle East. And National Guard is supposed to be a stable military to defend the homeland. But they're sending them niggas over there to the Middle East. Why is that? Because the Third World War is going to be fought in the Middle East, all right? Right there in Iran, Israel. World War III is about to really immense, man. Okay?
It says, Joel 2:20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army.
Yeah, we're just talking about America. We're just talking about the troops here. We're talking about the National Guard.
and will drive him into a land barren and desolate.
What the fuck is a land barren and desolate? When you think of a desert, what do you think? You think of that shithole in the Middle East right now, man. And it's a shithole because the land's cursed. Okay, when we're empowered, it says then the fir tree shall rejoice. All the land is going to return to the way it was.
There's going to be great forests.
It's going to be the Garden of Eden once more again. You see lions and tigers roaming around that bitch, man. It's going to be dope. Go ahead.
It said with his face toward the east sea,
Yep.
and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things.
Yeah, exactly, man. So when Esau goes out there, they're going to get fucked up out there, man. It ain't going to be like how Esau's been jacking up the world. Okay, because we brought out in Isaiah earlier that these other nations, they're going to rise up out the fucking pit and say, have we become as weak as he? Are you as weak as we are? Why? Because they all got laser weapons, man. They all got fucking armor. They all got missiles and fighter jets and tanks. Okay? And they understand their playing field. They understand all the strategies they could do in their own backyard. When they draft the military, the American troops to go out there, they're gonna be complaining about the scorching heat.
Who are you gonna draft? You're gonna draft a whole bunch of GMO babies, man. You're gonna draft all these fat, sick, fucked up, retarded ass Americans to go and fight in this big ass war. And these assholes, they get upset if their phone service gets cut, man. What the hell are they gonna do when they got fucking missiles and bombs flying at them? They're gonna piss on themselves. They're gonna run and hide, man. They ain't gonna fight. Tell you that in the scriptures. They're gonna run and hide, man. They're gonna be like, fuck this.
Oh yeah, let me get that.
This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Jeremiah 30. Actually, this is Jeremiah 51:27. Set up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places, and her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end.
Yep. And so this America's going to be completely destroyed. So the morale is going to be totally broken. Esau is just going to be like foxes without holes. All right. So when this thing all goes down, World War III goes down, man. All right, America's going to get decimated in that.
This is Jeremiah 51:10. It says, Yahweh brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh our power.
Yeah, he said he has brought forth our righteousness, right? Because everything that, the whole birth, you've seen that movie Birth of a Nation, it was all about slavery. All right? What did Esau do? Esau came over here and totally, we could start with the conquistadors. You had Esau came to South America, raped, robbed, and murdered over here in South America. Then the Pilgrims came over here to North America, the colonials, raped, robbed, and murdered the Gadites and the Seminole Indians. All right? And then the transatlantic slave trade was born, in which when you look at Jeremiah 50 and 33, it says all Israel was oppressed together. And so Esau knew what he was doing, man. And he was taking all these Israelites and putting them into slavery, and that's how America was built. All right. And what was Esau doing the whole time Jacob was in slavery? Beating them. All right, separating families, ripping apart the women, raping the women and the children, even the men. All right, feeding them to their dogs, feeding them to the alligators, doing all types of wickedness, man, busting out their teeth and and forcing ground swine down their throat, man. All these different things, whipping them, torturing them to death, making them work until their bodies broke down to pieces. All right, this is all the sins of America, man. That's why it says the sins of America lifted up to heaven. And so now Yahweh Shem Yahushua is totally revealing all this wicked. Everybody, the Lord is bringing all this shit to remembrance. All right, it's all coming back to remembrance. So the Lord is visiting America. The Lord is visiting the sins of you Edomites, man. All right, and not only America, but Esau as a whole, man. That's why over there in South Africa, Esau is getting persecuted in South Africa. Why? Because what they did, the lands that they took over in South Africa. All right, and so Esau is now being looked at as the culprit, as the bad guy. Just like we read in Job the 30th chapter, it says they cried after him as after a thief. That's why Esau is scrambling to apologize to everybody. Alright? That's why you see Edomites in these different protests. You see Edomites getting on their knees and apologizing for slavery. You see them rolling with the BLM jakes to tear down fucking statues and all this stuff. Why are they doing that? Because they're trying to please the poor, man, because they're scared, man, because they see that all these things from the past are being brought up now. Alright? Because the Lord is making this place bare. Alright, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua is using the words of the prophets to bring out all this information. Alright, all these people, they learn from the prophets, man. These different Christians. Look at fucking vocab alone. He can't stop watching the prophets, man. That's all he talks about. Alright, because he knows what we're saying is true. That's why America is being destroyed right now. That's why all these things are happening. It's all by the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. World War III is coming. It's all in the scriptures, man. And it give Zephaniah 3 and 8.
There's Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
So that's all we really got to do is wait. Just be patient, wait. Because all these things are unfolding right before our eyes. Alright, the wicked is being persecuted right before our eyes. America is being destroyed, man. Alright, if you're pro-American, you just don't want to accept the fact that America has, if you're a Jake and you're pro-American, you just don't want to accept the fact that this place has sinned so greatly that the Lord is destroying it, man. The Lord's getting ready to obliterate it, man, and it's righteous. Alright, because it tells you in the scriptures, hey, if you do this, there's a judgment for it. Now America is being judged. That's what's happening right now, man. The sins of the past are being judged right now. Go ahead.
Until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Yeah, so what? Read that again.
There's Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations.
My determination is to gather the nations. And what we were just talking about how the nations are being gathered right now over there in the Middle East, which is known in the scriptures as the Valley of Decision, the Valley of Judgment. Okay? That's where World War III is going to take place. And the BRICS and NATO are all going to come together to fight with each other in that zone, man, in that hot zone. All right? And it's going to start with Israel and Iran. All right?
mine indignation.
How is the Lord going to pour upon him his indignation? They're going to fucking go to war with each other, man. They're going to be splattering each other even before the Lord comes back with chariots to pour out his fierce anger upon them. They're going to be shooting missiles on each other. All right. Eventually, at some point, nuclear missiles are going to fly and completely destroy America and destroy a bunch of other countries in the process. Israel and Iran are going to get jacked up. Israel's going to be fucking destroyed. That land right there. America's going to be destroyed so bad that it's just going to melt, man. It's not even going to be able to be inhabited. It's going to be a desert fucking wasteland, man. Go ahead.
Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Why? Because the Lord has a controversy against you heathen nations, man. All right? Because you are hand in hand with Esau destroying the earth. You're walking in great pride upon the earth, huffing and puffing at Jake, man. All right. Now all these things are happening. You have certain of the heathen that are going to be sympathetic towards Jake. But meanwhile, your forefathers, your ancestors weren't sympathetic towards Jake. Nobody gave a shit, man.
All the elite, they're not even sympathetic towards Jake.
Hell no.
Because read Revelation 9. Talks about this place is getting new to Helipad. They're going to be in the dumps talking shit. They're not going to repent for all their thievery, their deaths, their murders, their witchcraft.
They're going to be in their party.
So when you see these people, these fucking politicians on the news talking about they're sorry for slavery, that's a fucking facade, man. Okay, these low-level honkies that are out here, these fucking white trash, they're the ones feeling some type of way because they're in the same fucking condition as Jake. So they're the ones that are saying, oh, I'm sorry, because they're being oppressed by their own. But the ones that are in office and all the motherfuckers, man, it's junk to them. They're saying all this shit, but then they're going home, drinking, slamming shots, throwing darts at a poster of a nigga, man. Okay? Probably have them at a gun range in their backyard shooting niggas, man. Okay? Don't let this shit fool you, man. Don't let it fool you.
Yeah.
Chicken don't bounce.
Chicken don't bounce. Hey, man, chicken don't bounce, man.
Oh,
And it's bouncing right now, man.
That shit bouncy.
That's why it says never trust thy enemy. If he goes crouching, take good heed of him. You see, he's coming at you. He's coming at you. He's got the dagger behind his back. He comes to you softly.
He's the author of the hatchet?
Yeah. He comes to you softly. Surely the bitterness of death was passed from me.
Yeah, like fucking Elmo shit.
Yeah. Surely.
He came crouching and bending.
Surely thou shalt show mercy.
Yep.
Then he's just gonna, the Lord's gonna zap him. He ain't gonna be able to do it, man. He ain't gonna be able to do it. See, Esau ain't banking on the Lord coming through and swooping up Jake, man. You got something?
I got Revelation 9.
9.
He said Revelation
9. There's Revelations 9 and 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.
Now, come on, man. If you can't see that, you just done. Listen, man. Hey, what does it say in the scriptures? If the gospel be hid to any, it is hid to them that are lost. It just said one woe is past, and behold, 2 more woes come after. And 2 of those woes have already passed, and we're getting ready to get into the 3rd one. We're about ready to get into the 3rd one. Go ahead.
There's Revelations 11 and 14. The 2nd woe is past, and behold, the 3rd woe cometh quickly.
Behold, the 3rd woe cometh quickly. Alright, now Albert Pike guy, he had the plan rolled out for 3 world wars, and it was fucking accurate, man. World War I was to get the czars out of Russia and set up a communist state. That happened. World War II was to set up Israel as a state, and that happened. World War III is to bring in the New World Order. All right? That's what the purpose, that's what they want to use World War III for, is that the war is going to be so fucking horrible and it's going to destroy so much that Esau is going to rise up out of that, rise up out of his dumbs, out of his bunkers, all right, and he's going to bring that one world order with him. That's what he wants to do, man. All right, go ahead.
And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
Yeah, those four angels are being loosed, man. That's why you see all this confusion going on in the world, man. There's so much shit going on in the world, you can't even keep up with it. All right, you can't even keep up with it, man. There's so much going on right now. Go ahead.
And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Yeah, because what it Habakkuk, the second chapter says that it is for an appointed time, and at that time it shall speak and not lie. So it is for an appointed day, a month, a year, and an hour. All right, that the Lord is going to unleash pure hell on the world. All right, go ahead.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone. By these three was a third part of men killed by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone.
Yeah, because NATO's going to lose. And NATO and the EU, that's the beast, man. And they're going to lose. All right? Really, all these nations at the end of the day are going to lose. But that world war, the beast is going to lose.
The Lord's going to return. Hold it out there.
Because that third part of men is really talking about Esau. And NATO and the EU, that's America and the European nations. Who are those? Those are all Edomites, man. So that means that the beast, NATO and the EU, are going to get decimated.
Russia too. Because even though Russia is separate, they're still East. You know, the Medes, Gog, Magog, they're still Edomites.
Yeah, because these nukes are going to get shot all over the world. What is it called? Mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction. That means when one nuke goes, all these countries got targets, man.
Yeah. Which not every land is going to get touched, because where else are the men of the Lord going to come down?
Well, not every land is going to be at war.
There's certain countries in Central America that are not part of any of the war, or not part of any faction. You know, then you got the Amazon rainforest, which we believe is going to be the wilderness. You have a lot of aboriginals that are there, a lot of Indians, which we believe are the Mayans that fled. You know, and there's other people there that are, you know, not going to get escaped, you know, by these groups.
Yep.
Because it wouldn't make sense, because the scriptures say the Lord had created the earth to be inhabited, and the scriptures also say that the earth abideth forever. So it's not going to be a mutually assured destruction according to Esau, where the fucking
the whole planet blows.
Yeah, it gets decimated. But a lot of these countries, these major countries, especially the ones that are going to be involved in this world war, a lot of them are going to get fucked up by these nukes. You know, it's prophesied that America is the only one that's going to be totally wiped off. It's going to become a desert forever. You know, and then the land of Israel is going to get nuked, but we're going to go reestablish the land. But America's the only one that's really going to get just where nobody's ever going to come here.
Yeah, that shows you how wicked America is.
Yeah.
That shows you how much the Lord hates this place in particular, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, it used to be like 5 cities there. You know, it used to be like 5 major cities at the time there. And when the Lord rained fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah, He turned all Sodom and Gomorrah and all those neighboring cities into a Dead Sea and salt. It's called the Dead Sea because the Lord went over that place and fucked it up. Beforehand, they used to get fish out of there.
Yeah.
You know, you used to use that as a.
You can't survive there now.
You can't. They say nothing. It's called the Dead Sea. Nothing is in there that's living. No, there's no fish there. There's nothing. And then they use that as beauty treatment. That fucking
yeah.
You know,
And it's all
it's all elements.
It's all dead shit, dead people, dead fish.
Dead people, fish.
That's why you
plants.
look at the pictures of the Dead Sea and there's piles of salt. Those are fucking people, man. They got vaporized.
Yeah, there's all salt all around. Everything got fucking dehydrated, man.
And then you got
lots of rocks up there.
Yep. And you got these idiots that are bathing in it.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's pure death.
Pure death.
But they don't know that. But that just shows you that the scriptures are real. There's different things that you look at in the scriptures, and you can actually Google and see that it still stands to this day. You can see the Dead Sea. Oh, hey, that's where Sodom and Gomorrah was. That's why it's like that. So obviously that really happened, man. That actually took place. Yep. Yeah, that's dead people.
No fish there, man. It's just cruising.
Yep, that's all fucking salt. That's all salt, and it tells you what? Lot's wife got turned into a pillar of salt. That's how we know all that salt is death. It's just dead people, man. That's what America's gonna look like. Just dehydrated creatures.
This is Revelation 15:1. It says, "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the Lord, it's like it."
And a sea of glass mingled with fire, because when the elect are taken up in the chariots, you're going to be hovering in outer space looking down at the world, and you're going to see the firmament, and the earth is going to be on fire.
"And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh." Standing on the sea of glass, talking about over the firmament, but literally like the Apostle Torah in a dream, where he said that inside the chariots, the bottoms of it are going to be seen clear, so we can actually see through it, just literally see it all. It says, "And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord Yahweh Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee."
Yeah, who shall not fear thee? But after this thing goes down, there ain't going to be a nation upon the earth. Everybody's going to remember this forever. The great destruction, because the Lord is coming to destroy the earth, man.
Yeah, right here it says, for that judgments are made manifest.
Man.
He's going to bring all the prophecies, the judgments to pass. So, all these people that have scoffed at us, these other nations, because the other nations, they do watch our videos. Okay, when you look at the analytics of our videos, when I used to do that, back when I had my old channel that got destroyed because of Esau's bitch ass, when you looked at the analytics, there was like countries that you couldn't even pronounce. You don't even know where they were. You'd have to Google and see where they were. Because why? There's Israelites in these other nations, and there's heathens in other nations that watch. Okay? And so they're going to say, these guys are telling the truth. How else could it be? Everything they said is coming to pass. Chariots, nukes, they're going to see the angels, man. The scripture said, Yahushua is going to come. They're going to see Yahushua in trouble, man. It says, every knee shall bow, man. All kindreds of the earth shall wail because of it. They're all going to witness it. These judgments are going to be manifested, man. If something is manifested, it is there, man.
Now again, real quick, is Zephaniah 3 and 5. Because it does talk about in the scriptures how it says that I witnessed under the sun that judgment was there.
There's Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame.
Yeah, it says every morning he bringeth his judgment to light. That's why when you turn on the news, you see things going on, places getting bombed, destroyed. You see people getting shot, killed. Women getting raped, so on and so forth. Every morning he does bring his judgment to light because he's in control of all these different spirits on the earth. And that's why it says he renders to every man according to their ways, according to their doings. You know, he'll let somebody go because he has a purpose for him, and then at the end of that thing, he'll judge that man for the sins that the Lord used him to do. You have spirits of vengeance.
Yeah, out of nowhere, he just fucking has him have a perfect day. He goes to a bar, gets faded, leaves the bar, he fucking drives out and kills like 10 people and his wife. And he drives himself off the cliff. Bro, that's a spirit of vengeance. You know, in their what does it say? In their visit,
the time of their visitation, they pour on sore strokes.
They pour out their force.
Yep.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
Yeah, man. That's why you have these agents that Esau pays to do things, man. Alright, the Lord raises up spirits of vengeance.
Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Yep. And that's what Esau will raise up, somebody that's a spirit of vengeance. All right, somebody that's goes and commits a mass shooting. You know, runs up into a movie theater and starts spraying at everybody. All right, that's to appease the wrath of him that made them.
And it's not a spirit to be in, because that's that man's purpose, is to be a spirit of vengeance. Us up here, our purpose is to be prophets of the Lord. These are totally different spirits. This is the spirit of the prophets, the subject of the prophets, not a spirit of vengeance, you know. It says fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is.
Man.
And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
Yeah, so everybody is on the earth right now doing whatever you're doing, but there is going to be a time when the Lord is going to appoint four kinds over you, man.
Just going to unleash that wrath. Because it says that the great day of the Lord is terrible, dreadful. Okay? So in the day of the Lord's wrath, he's going to just unleash all these spirits. Bro, I don't know if you've seen it on the news. The other day, a mountain lion escaped.
No, I know. It was right there on Riverside where I live. And there's a fires going on in the mountain. And that type of stuff is gonna, the more the Lord causes fires in places of habitats where there's mountain lions and bears, it's gonna push these mountain lions and these bears down this way.
Yeah, and what's a trip is that mountain lion that actually escaped was a 2 Edomites pet.
That makes sense. I was thinking that too.
It was some Edomites pet, bro.
See what he devils got have a fucking mountain lion for you, piece of shit. That's why the Lord's gonna kill you, punk ass.
And it escaped. Now who's to say? In the time where all these people, all these exotic animals they got, just escape and start wrecking shit, man.
They're gonna have
to. Teeth of wild beasts.
They're gonna have to, because who's gonna be around to feed them? Who's gonna be around to take care of them? So they're gonna find their way out. They're gonna be starving. They're gonna be looking for shit to eat, man. And there's gonna be no fucking lack of bread, right? Because you're gonna have people running up and down the streets. You have wild animals fucking grabbing people up, man. And the Lord's gonna direct their ways. So if you running from something and then you run into a bear, that was your fate, man. The Lord literally set it up to where you would run into a bear. And the bear would chomp your damn skull.
Yeah, one thing about these mountain lions, a couple months ago, I did a video where they started grouping together. And mountain lions, they're solitary predators, but now in the wild, they started grouping together. And imagine when a group of these are out. If one of them is a vicious predator, there's a group of them, it's going to be over.
This is Jeremiah 15:1. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. And the Lord's getting ready to cast Israel out of his sight. Right now, we're still out here, but how much longer are we still going to be out here for? Because when this thing rolls in, the Lord's not going to have, the Lord's going to hide us, man. He's going to take us off of the streets. He's going to take us off of the internet. All right? The Lord's going to hide us when this thing really rolls in. And when that happens, that's when it's too late. There ain't going to be the truth is going to be buried, man. There ain't going to be no truth out here. It's just going to be nothing but confusion and those that have the light. At that point, it's going to be the haves and the have-nots, man. And if you have not, then you have no friend in your house. You don't know the Lord. If you don't know the Lord, if you have nothing to show, you got nothing to show to your house from outside. That's why we're constantly out here. That's why we're constantly putting up videos and we're telling you chicks, all right, to repent. Because now it's closer. It's just getting closer and closer. And there's going to be a point in time when it's going to be too late. And you ain't gonna just do all this wickedness and just be a fucking piece of shit the whole time and then at the last minute repent and be saved. That's not what's gonna happen, man. Because the Lord said, and give Proverbs 1:20. And it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, such as are for the sword to the sword, such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. So if you do happen to run into a prophet, you recognize him, and what should I do? That's what you're gonna get. Hey man, you're either gonna get smoked, you're gonna get eaten, because when the Lord called, you refused.
This is 2 Ezra 9 and 7. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved, said those, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they have cast them away despitefully, shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have known my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain.
Yep. And that's why it said they that had liberty and yet loathed this law, because just like that Jake that came up, what was it, last week or the week before, he's like, I still got time, right? That's that scripture right there. Jake still got liberty, but he don't want to repent. And you think you're gonna at the last moment you're gonna repent? That's not how it's gonna go, man.
Jake, this word is a spirit. The spirit only dances out of Jake. That's why he doesn't really understand, but it's the spirit that is compelling him.
It calls him. It's like, hey, come on. That's what the spirit does. Constantly, even these, you think a lot of these Jakes out here that know they're Israelites, but they're still totally retarded and wicked. You think the spirit's not called? Every time they see an Israelite, they're conflicted in their mind. That spirit is constantly going to be jabbing them, and they're constantly going to be that demon's going to be blocking it, man. That's why so many Jakes hate us, man. Is because they know what we're saying is true, but they don't want it to be true. They don't want it to be so. And you know that because when you read the scriptures, it tells you that Jake was telling the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Prophesy unto us, tell us it's okay.
Tell us a lie.
Yeah, tell us what we're doing is good. Tell me it's okay to be a homo. Come on. I was born this way. You can't do this to me. Tell me it's fine. Tell me Jesus is going to save me anyways. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear that Jesus is the Lord and that He's all loving. He will accept you as you are. That's not the truth, though. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is the power, and He will not accept you as you are. You will have to conform to His ways. You have to leave off from your ways and your will and your own mind and adopt the mind of the Lord so that the Lord can adopt you. Alright? Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to save those that He knows, man. And if He don't know you, if you don't know the Lord, you don't know the Lord, man. If you don't know you, He don't know you, man.
Morpheus
Matrix is a dope-ass movie, man.
Morpheus says, I'm trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
Yep. Hey, that's in Scripture.
I know.
Matthew 7:7. It says, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. And the way that you seek the Lord is by learning about Him and then doing what it is that you learn. You got to actually do what it is that you learn, man. Or you can't just be hearing the words and then not doing anything about it, because that's no works. That's you can't have faith and not have works. It's not possible, man. Because where is faith? Where does faith come from? Faith comes from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. That's where faith comes from. But if you got no works, yeah, it comes from hearing. But if you got no works, then that faith is of none effect. Meaning that if you don't repent, if you don't amend your ways, if you don't pray, if you don't seek, if you don't do the work, then those things that you hear are void. They're made void to you. It's like it went in one ear and out the other. Yeah.
This is Romans 10 and 15. Well, start at Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who hath believed our report? So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words into the ends of the world.
Yeah, so they heard, but they didn't do nothing about it. They ain't done nothing about it. Because they love this world, man. They love death. You can just see it. They got love death. You try and tell them the word of the Lord, he be like, shut up, punk ass square, faggot, fucking goody two shoes, motherfucker, Bible thumping piece of shit. All kinds of madness, bro. All kinds of madness. Fucking square, fucking fairy. I'll smoke, I'll drink, I'll fuck whatever I want to fuck. Now you can't tell me nothing. That's the spirit that these jakes are in, man. That's the spirit that a lot of these jakes are in, man. But that's fine. That means you're gonna fucking die, bro. See, we don't give a shit, man. You can say whatever you want because we understand that